friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, beautiful viewers. Today's reading is going to be a message from spirit for what you need to hear today. I don't know what it will be. It could be anything at all that you're needing to hear, maybe some guidance or just a message that is going to serve as some sort of confirmation for you. So this is a pick a card reading. We have 3 options to choose from. I have pre-shuffled the oracle cards. I've not looked at them, although I will ask that you use your intuition to lean in on whichever object here you are feeling pulled towards. If you are called towards more than one, that is absolutely okay. It just means there's multiple messages here for you. I will leave the video running as well, so you can take your time to pick whichever one you feel called towards. We have option number 1, this obsidian cat, this little black Halloween cat. Option number 2, we have the ammonite shell. And for option number 3, we have the labradorite mask. All right, so feel free to let the video run and then select from the timestamp that will be in the pinned comment and in the description box below. It will take you directly to your pick. I will see you there. Hello, pile 1. You picked the black obsidian cat. Carved cat, absolutely adorable. So let's take a look at your message from spirit for today. It could be anything at all, something you're needing to hear. Maybe it'll serve as some confirmation or some guidance for today. Please use your intuition as to what you will see, feel, or hear to confirm indeed this is your message, because there is no way for me to tell you that this is something that is meant for you unless you are resonating, okay, in the frequency in which I'm pulling this message. So I believe you're here. There's obviously some reason why you're here, even if it's just a small part of this message. We will find out. All right, so first card, we have impasse. Orange is the sacral chakra. We have puppet, 48, or the number 12. 12th house is all about endings and closure, spirituality, karma, what's hidden, limiting beliefs. We have rainbow, number 10 or 28. Rainbows, there's 2 rainbows here, okay. We have mirror with 23 or the number 5. And we have angel with number 2. We have some sort of demon cat with its teeth showing. So interesting that you picked the cat. Very interesting. We have a rope that's twisted to create some sort of tension here. We have the almighty mountain. And we have power struggle with 41. Interesting. Or number 5 again. You may be involved in a power struggle between 2 or more people. Number 5 is all about conflict as well. And you have number 5 here, and you have number 5 here. 39, the detective. Look past the veil of illusion that someone is trying to pull over your eyes. That someone could be you. So examine your assumptions. The detective with 39. Or number 12 again. 12 is also the hangman, and it's gaining a new perspective, which is all about this detective card. And we got number 12 right here. Okay, so I'm going to pull some Tarot, although I am getting a message here already for you guys. Let's ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for the beautiful viewer here for pile number 1. Spirit, clear and concise message for pile number 1. What are they needing to hear here, right now? What is their message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1? Thank you so much. All right, so we have the 7 of Swords. We have the Hangman. Very interesting. We have the Justice. We have the Knight of Swords. And we have the Moon. Okay. Pile 1. Your message is coming through quite clear. So, I feel like there's a situation in which you feel really stuck. And you might feel stuck because someone else seems to have all the power. And it's creating conflict for you. And I feel like you're wanting the best outcome here. And I think you've been trying. You've been trying different things. And potentially you still feel as though you are powerless, or the other person holds all the sort of power in the situation. Or at least you feel you can't do anything about this. But I do feel like it's something you're feeling completely stuck, like there's nothing you can do in order to make it better. There's nothing you can do to change something. And I think what Spirit is saying is, well, there's a side note here. One is, whatever way you are trying to go, or whatever thing you are trying to do, it did not work, because Spirit is trying to make you see a different way. So there is a way. There is a way. But not the way that you've been trying. So you might be completely seeing something from one perspective and you're getting the same results, and you're not seeing a different way to go about this. And I don't know if you just feel like you're at the mercy of this other person who might be controlling, or even the situation or circumstance that seems to have like all the control, but it isn't true. So I feel like some of you guys might feel like, I don't know, either the people you're dealing with are defensive, or you might start getting defensive here because of the situation you're in. And like, it seems like 1 step forward, 2 steps back type of thing. And I do feel like you're hanging on to a vision that I think you need to let go of, how the outcome, or how something's supposed to unfold, or how you envision something here, because I think that is where you're hung up. So Spirit is purposefully blocking whatever pathway, whatever sort of idea you had for that that pathway to unfold. There's another way here. And what the purpose of this is for you to take a look at something regarding yourself that you're not seeing. And I think when you are able to see this and address it about yourself, then you become to understand yourself a little bit better. And this is something that won't resurface in your life as long as you're consciously aware of it. So it's kind of like addressing something deep within your subconscious, or your shadow self here, that's not being addressed, or that you're not wanting to look at. And so I feel like also, whatever this is, you might have been using sheer force in some way, like controlling it or trying to really make it happen, but it feels out of your control, or someone else is controlling you in a way that you feel controlled. But either way, the energy you're encompassing is one that is not going to work down that path. So you're needing to really take a look at your own actions, your own accountability, your own, like, how are you showing up? and then change that, because I think there is a big need here for you to take some sort of accountability for how you have been showing up and actually seeing it for what it is. I feel like somebody's really defensive, and it could certainly be you. Yeah. There could be multiple people involved. And I feel like somebody's very reactionary. It could be you again, maybe saying things, just reacting. So I think Spirit is asking, why are we defensive? And what sort of peace are we wanting to make? What sort of harmony are we wanting to make for ourselves? Because there's a need to understand that whatever sort of feeling we have is what sort of vibration we have. So it's going to bring in more of that. So if we're feeling stuck, if we're feeling like no one understands us, if we're feeling defensive, if we're feeling argumentative, then that is the sort of energy that comes around. And if we're accepting, and if we're taking accountability, I feel there's a need here to understand the other perspective, in order for you to gain a better understanding of something regarding yourself that'll make things easier. I feel there's a stubbornness here of like not wanting to surrender to a situation or another person, but I feel both people are most likely trying to gain some sort of control here. And the one way that you're kind of choosing to be is kind of stemmed here, I feel, from some deep-rooted fear of something when you strip it all away. We see the moon over here, because this card is all about the impasse, where we're not able to go through to accomplish something in the way we always thought we could, because Spirit puts things, people, and situations in our way, so that we have to find an alternate way to kind of get through here. But I feel like, we're creatures of habit, and sometimes we just do things from our subconscious without knowing. But to be present, to be consciously aware if we're acting out of fear, and then to choose the way that might bring us fear might actually be the answer here. So whatever the other pathway here, I think, makes you look at yourself. So I'm hearing, do you have to apologize? I don't know. Only you feel like maybe you do, to bring some sort of peace here. And maybe you're of the mind that if I did nothing wrong, I never have to apologize. But I feel like, okay, what your greater purpose is here for some sort of harmony you're wanting to bring and restore balance. Is the peace more important? Or is your hanging on to not having to say sorry about something, the principle, more important? I don't know. And I'm not saying you should apologize to someone, or if you feel you don't have to. But I feel like there is something going on here that you're shifting to the other side, or the other person as being the problem, or the if only this person, or if only that, and you're focused on that rather than detaching from that sort of vision or belief system structure, and then looking at something else that may work here, but would require you to face some sort of part of yourself that could be too scared to face. Maybe you're too defensive to face it. Or maybe you feel the other person would be too defensive and it'd be more of a challenge, and you don't want to confront this because you're unsure of what might result if there be conflict. whatever the case may be, I do feel as though there's a need to handle it differently. So if you have not confronted the situation, then maybe it's time to do so. And if you have confronted and you're not getting anywhere, then maybe it's time to look at ourselves, how we can bring peace and harmony in a different way, rather than being defensive or trying to convince someone of our idea or our way. Let's pull some more tarot just to see if we could see some more for some guidance. I did drop a card. In a second. It's the Justice card. All right, Spirit, thank you for that. Can we get a little bit more in regards to some advice here for pile 1? Why are they hearing this message? What do they need to do? Some guidance, anything that is still unclear for the viewer. Help clear this up. Thank you so, so much. All right. 2 of Pentacles. We have a 2 here, so hard time to sort of, I feel like get 2 people on the same page, to see from the same point of view, to agree to something so things aren't progressing. Here we have the King of Cups, we have the Empress, and we have the 7 of Pentacles, and I'm hearing Spirit saying to leave them in the reverse. So I feel like there's 2 people who are turning their backs on each other here, from some stubborn way, for whatever their reasons might be, but I feel like both people love each other deeply. And what Spirit is saying here with the guidance is these 2 people need to be more vulnerable, more transparent, more exposed, in order for the other to feel safe, because, and put down their defenses. And if you've been vulnerable and the other person has not put down their defenses, then I feel like what Spirit is saying here is to surrender, which you might not want to do, because I feel you've invested quite a bit here, but there's a need to do something different. Because I feel the only way these 2 people are going to find peace and harmony is if they're vulnerable with each other. And if one person puts down their defensiveness, and I feel like this person's really defensive and very cold to get through, to understand, although deep down there's a lot of love. I keep getting a feeling throughout this reading of trying to like gather something. Like, I don't know if you've been trying to bring this person to be on the same page, or I don't know, like when one person's on, one is off, when one's on, one's off. Like, it just seems like herding the cattle, or bringing 2 people together seem to be you guys on 2 different pages. But it could very well be that deep down you guys are on the same page in some way. And there could be this, this like power struggle to who can kind of hold the upper hand here in some sort of fashion. So I think Spirit is really indicating that there is a way to move forward, but it's going to take a different approach, a different method than the one that you're using right now or have been using. And maybe you say, well, I've tried everything, but I don't feel that is the case. That everything has been tried, and if it has, it hasn't been successfully tried, and there's maybe a need to review that a little deeper, or give it another try in a different way. So let's get final messages here for what you need to hear right now from Spirit regarding this message. Anything further, Spirit, that pile 1 is needing to hear regarding this message. I think there's certain things here you were unable to change, and that's okay. And maybe it's just accepting the things you're unable to change and working with the things that you are and becoming at peace with that. We got the Four of Wands and it fell in reverse. This is the Union card coming together, celebrations, and it's in reverse. So I feel like, yeah, like you do want harmony. You do want to come together. And there we have the two people again with their backs turned. So although they are side by side. So I feel like both of you guys are kind of wanting the same thing. If there are other people involved here, and I do feel there are, here's the Page of Wands in reverse. Does someone need to communicate and they're not communicating? There's the Queen of Swords that I dropped. Queen of Swords could be all about communication, clear understanding, boundaries, getting certain. There's the Empress coming out again. Divine Feminine energy, Taurus energy. Also have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Libra was coming out with the Justice card. And we have the Two of Pentacles coming out again. Two of Pentacles going back and forth. Having a difficult time prioritizing or managing, juggling two sort of ideas, or at least it could even mean having to find a middle ground between two opposing things here. How do we find a middle ground between two opposing things? We might have to completely shift our perspective to see the other person's point of view, or we might have to be completely firm in our communication and understanding if we have not been up until now. But there's complete sort of 180 I'm feeling you're needing to do and be willing to do and not fold. So only you know where you stand with this. If you've been assertive, if you've been communicative, if you've been hitting an impasse and people haven't been sort of engaging, then it's time to take the different approach of detaching, laying a boundary, pull away any sort of energy you might still have in this sort of situation. And if you've been a little wishy-washy, if you've been vulnerable here as well, like time to get very firm. And if you've been firm, if you've been very direct, if you've been communicative and clear and things are still not lined up, then there's a need to drop your defenses, to just get very vulnerable, to come from a place of love, to communicate openly as these children will. Both are very vulnerable here. Coming from a deep, deep place of love, gentleness, seeing the other person's perspective, being very open to it, not making any judgment about it. So this is what Spirit wants to communicate for you. I hope this message resonated for you guys. Beautiful pile number 1. I love you guys very much, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, my beautiful pile 2. You picked the ammonite shell. Beautiful iridescent shimmer to this shell. Let's take a look at your message from Spirit for today, shall we? So this is what you're needing to hear. I don't know if it's guidance, confirmation, a special message, whatever it may be. It is completely random. So in order for you to know whether this is your message or not, then please use your intuition to come up with something you will see, feel, or hear to confirm to you indeed this is your message. All right, so I've not looked at them. Let's reveal this message together. We have expansion. Blue is the throat chakra. We have 53, make it look like the night, or the number 8. Okay, more blue here. Doorways, 11. One door is open. Okay, and we have clouds. Look at what's interesting. This doorway opens, and in the background you see all these clouds, and you got clouds here with 3 doves. You got lots of clouds in this one as well, and interesting clouds. Well, clouds are white, but they are in the blue sky. Lots of blue here. The doves are all about peace, harmony. I'm getting 3 of Cups from this card, although we have the number 8 again. 8 is here. 8 is all about courage, strength. Okay. 8 is also the house of sex and intimacy. It's about goals, partners, resources, that sort of thing. Merging, inheritances, taxes. Okay, let's keep going. We have travel, 34. Lots of blue in this one as well. Number 7, the Chariot. So I've travel, lots here to look at. I don't know if you want to pause it, see if you see something here. We have a little Buddha. I don't know, is that a Buddha? Looks like a Buddha. Lighthouse. An air balloon got my attention. Okay. We have this shadow going from red to blue. We have a mother breastfeeding her child. Okay. Make it look like the night. We have the talent, another clock here in the background. We have the clock here and here. Okay, the talent. We have tough love, 49, or the number 13. It is time to tell the truth about something you have been avoiding. Okay, and we have time to lighten up with 38, or the number 12. You may be taking life too seriously. Okay, and then we have 31, the Balancer. Soar beyond all limiting concepts and embrace your spiritual self in the place beyond female and male, where we all truly are one energy, with the Balancer, 31, or the number 4. The Yin, the Yang, the Butterfly, male and, 2 butterflies, male, female. The Light and Dark, positive and negative. Okay, let's pull some tarot. So Spirit, thank you so much for this message. For the greatest and highest good of pile number 2, what are they needing to hear right now? What is their message? Clear and concise. Please protect me and the viewers. I channel this message. And what are they needing to hear right now? Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. Thank you. I'll pull one more. So we have the 10 of Swords, and I'm told to leave them as they are. The 10 of Swords is in reverse. Is there a need to accept something painful? Something we're still carrying that we might have to wrap up in some way in order to move forward. So it's time to tell someone the truth about something you have been avoiding. Time. At 3 clocks here. Another clock here. The 3 of Cups I was seeing was reconciliation. The Balancer is this Temperance card here. Is there something that needs to come to an end? There's the Page of Wands, communication. Coming through again, I need to communicate something. The Temperance is all about taking 2 sort of opposing things to make it work. So we might be stuck or feeling one way, but we're needing to bring it into reality some way so it is cohesive. So we are managing a way to bring balance to a situation. We might have to transform ourselves out of our comfort zone in some way, or we might have to let go of something in order to nurture something here so that we can expand. Make it look like the night. We have the King of Pentacles. This is Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And we have, yeah, Three of Pentacles, working with another, collaborating, creating with another, allowing ourselves to work with another. So, I feel like you have an opportunity here to bring peace to a situation, to work with another. And I think the fact that we keep seeing a whole bunch of clocks and discussions about time coming out here, time coming out here, a whole bunch. Okay, so have we had time and time again an opportunity or a chance to do something that we just have not been able to do? I feel that you have. And I feel like Spirit's message here is there is a big clog that is getting to become bigger than it needs to be. It is kind of sort of making a mountain. And it is kind of almost making a mountain out of a molehill in some way, because I feel like it's not being addressed. So whatever could have been addressed at some point might have been a lot easier to deal with. So now it might seem like something that is too massive to overcome, but it is requiring for you to address something here, because I feel like it is now becoming sort of a huge obstacle that will get you sort of feeling very stuck, but you are able to unravel this. You might just feel like it is very heavy. You might feel like there's a lot of things here that might be getting in the way of you moving forward to communicate something, but make it look like the Knight, and then we have this shadow man person here. The Knight is where we see things that aren't really what they are, and we could start seeing shadows and sort of make up stories about the meaning, giving them meaning. And then we could maybe start spooking ourselves out. So I'm getting a lot of Seven of Cups here, and this guy's kind of walking around here, not knowing which way to go. But there is one door open here. But maybe he's looking at this door open like it's going to lead to the clouds. And the clouds are all about, you know, things that could be quite confusing to us. So we don't go through, but then we stay kind of in purgatory and stuck in some way. So I think there is something you're being asked to leap forward that's going to give you expansion, that's going to allow you to grow, that might seem confusing to you, that might even appear like clouds, but it might not be clouds at all. And I feel like by allowing you to just trust yourself and moving forward is actually what you need in order to expand, in order to give yourself sort of whatever sort of you need at this point to grow, to expand, to nurture yourself in a way that will allow you to get something that you need for yourself. It would require you to communicate. It would require you to trust that you might not know exactly where you're headed, but this message is coming through that it's headed in a place for your benefit, that you're able to create something here that you are not able to create in the environment in which you're at. So you might see confusion, you might see an obstacle, you might see stuckness where it's actually open, where it's actually peaceful, where it's actually the food you need right now, but you're not seeing it that way. It would require you to allow yourself to work with another. And I feel this would bring you a lot of healing. But in order to do this, I think you have to surrender something, or yeah, surrender something. Maybe you feel you are unable to. And maybe you feel like if you were to surrender something, it'd be completely let go of or over, but I don't feel that's the case. I feel like maybe you feel this way, and maybe that's also an illusion here, that by moving forward, bring some sort of healing and peace, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to completely, because this is like an ending, but not really, because it's in reverse. So maybe you feel like something would be completely released in some way, but I don't think so. And yeah, I do feel like you've been avoiding something here, and it kind of, the more you avoided it, the more difficult it became, and the more excuses and the more reasons. But I do feel like all of these things, these reasons, these excuses and procrastinations could certainly build into some sort of mountain here that might become surmountable at some point. But it's not surmountable, and maybe you feel like it is, but I think you're seeing something from one perspective, you know, that's not really the truth of the matter. And I feel like the talent here is you actually are capable of accomplishing something here. You are capable. This is also about having talent, the ability to work with another, to do what is required of us in order to accomplish something, to turn something into something else successfully. I think you have the ability to do this. And you might be feeling like small, or like you're unable to. And so your fear of stepping through that opportunity has you sort of stuck. But I feel like the stuckness where you are, the indecision or the looking at something, is more painful, is more anxiety induced. You're kind of in purgatory here. So it's time to allow yourself to communicate something that will free you, because the time is right. The time is right now. So let's pull some more tarot cards and see if there's more messages here. We can get a sneaky peek as to what this could be about. So you are clear. Spirit, what is this about for pile number 2? What is this message about? Can we get a little bit more? Thank you so much. We have the 3 of Cups. That's what I was seeing with this card here, and it is in reverse. So you're avoiding coming together in some way, finding peace in some way, because maybe you don't see peace there. We have the 5 of Swords. We have the Magician. And pull 2 more. We have the Queen of Pentacles now in reverse. We saw the King of Pentacles. Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have more Virgo coming out with the Magician and Gemini. I do feel these are all going to be relevant, so I will put this one down. We have the 7 of Swords in the reverse, and then we have these 3, Temperance in reverse, the Empress in reverse, and the 2 of Swords in reverse. Okay. So, pile 2. Did something not go right the first time around? Did we show up in a way that we are not very proud of, and now we have to maybe step forward with some sort of apology, or maybe we have to see beyond how we might have been acting selfish at some point, maybe. Or are we just self-sabotaging ourselves by not engaging in a way that we know is going to be what's required here in order to come together, to make peace, to create something. Yeah. So this is all showing me the block here, the temperance in reverse. This is the need to bring the balance, the need to step forward to do our piece and work with whatever we do understand and we do have, and sort of alchemize two sort of polarizing ideas or a circumstance in ourselves in order to find a way to find balance, to work through it, to manifest something here. These are both about manifesting something, bringing something to fruition. And I feel like with the Empress in reverse and this Three of Cups in reverse, this is about heart space. This is about being authentic, about allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, allowing ourselves to come together with others. And I feel there is a block here. And potentially we were blocked, unable to step forward and communicate or walk forward in our truth because of something we saw that might have not have been real, or something we believe that might have kept us stuck. This is also a balance card, and both of these are in reverse. So I feel like things are definitely imbalanced right now, and the reason why is because the universe is calling you to act and speak some sort of truth that would require you to be vulnerable, to open up your heart space, that come out of whatever sort of hiding that you're in, or whatever self-sabotage energies you might be in, despite what might maybe in the past was one action, and coming forward with truths will allow you to manifest something greater than what has been manifested right now for you in this situation. I think you've been sort of ignoring. I feel you've been ignoring or hoping things would get better or things would change. But Spirit is saying the more you ignore, the more you sit idle, the more you kind of not do what you're being called to do, the more things are slowly starting to get more difficult. Mountains out of molehills, but I feel like it will become a mountain at some point. Okay, we have the World. Concluding a cycle. Successful conclusion of a cycle. So in order to get out of this phase, there needs to be dealing with something and putting an end to something. We saw the Ten of Swords in reverse. It's like your inability to end something, a way of being maybe, and a silence, and kind of acting in a way that is removed, because I feel like there's a need to work with another. There's a need to share and be vulnerable and communicate. And I feel like you're seeming to want to work on your own for whatever sort of reason you have. But I think the reason you have is sort of an illusion of seeing things as maybe getting confusing, or seeing things as becoming one way, which they're not. It's how you're perceiving it. It's actually the opposite of what you're perceiving here. And maybe you're making a bigger deal than needs to be, but the more you procrastinate and delay, the bigger the challenge. I also see the Statue of Liberty there. So I do feel there is some sense of freedom. That's what I'm getting from these doves as well. Peace, freedom, liberation. Because I feel you're stuck somewhere trying to decide, going back and forth. Let's see. We'll pull some more. Now look at this anxiety. The anxiety here is greater than the actual successful closure of a cycle here. It's more painful for you. Page of Wands in reverse. Not taking the chance to communicate, to explore. When the card went flying, kind of fell sideways. We have now this Empress. The Empress is all about love. The Empress is abundance. The Empress is the divine feminine energy, receptivity, being vulnerable, showing love, birthing something. Look, we have this nurturing mother here, And we have the nurturing mother here. So I feel like there is something here to be nurtured that has not been nurtured. There's the Five of Swords again. Okay, this is where nobody wins because somebody might have been trying to win a situation at all costs and nobody was victorious. And now there is nothing to gain from a situation. Ten of Cups in reverse. This is the ideal partnership coming together. Families creating a lifetime of happiness and contentment. In the reverse is like, yeah, it's like not allowing the expansion to happen, not allowing the opportunity to explore what a better life could be. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse, is similar to this Page of Wands in reverse, not taking the chance, not moving forward. That's also travel. So a lot of you guys might be not allowing yourself to travel, but travel could just mean in the sense of movement, stepping through the door, stepping forward, but it could be physically traveling here. But I feel like there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of mental thought, but I feel like it's more stress than need be with the time to lighten up. Knight of Cups in reverse. This is the Love card with the Empress showing. This is extending love, showing love, being vulnerable. This is blocked. Moving forward. Eight of Swords, some sort of limitation we have. That was the Two of Swords in reverse. Our limitation, our inability to communicate something or to understand something has us stuck. Has us believing something to be true. And it could be something that was told to us or that we've just carried that we believe to be true, like we aren't capable of something. And we're not capable of it, so we don't do it. But it is untrue and it's limiting us. It's not allowing us to expand, to nurture ourselves, to heal, to bring the best sort of outcome for ourselves. Look, 3 birds here, and we have 3 birds here. Birds could be about gossip, but I feel like it's communication. Maybe there's, you know, you and 2 other people involved that you kind of need to communicate with. There could be 3 people, a third party type situation where one thing could impact another person, but there needs to be a communication. And I feel like instead of communicating, you're just kind of held back. You're not allowing yourself to close something out. So we're going to ask for final. Wow, your cards just keep falling. And we got the Wheel of Fortune that flipped. It flipped face up, which this is all about timing. Divine timing. So the time is now. If you've been contemplating whether to communicate something, whatever this is, okay, this could just be your message pile too. The time is now. Okay, the time is now. And there's all this indicators about time. I feel like you have the ability with the talent, with the magician to pull something off, to communicate something, regardless if there's 2 people, 3 people, however many people. I feel like there's a need to communicate something. The divine timing is now. Spirit is really wanting you to pay attention to the timing and the fact that the wheel is in the upright. Things will start to move. You won't feel stuck. You'll be able to expand. This is all about good luck and fortune. So whatever sort of misfortunes you've had in this situation is most likely caused by a lack of movement, more by anxiety to move, anxiety to communicate. So let's pull final words here for pile 2, Spirit. What do they need to hear? Anything they're not understanding. Final words, guidance. What are they needing to hear right here, right now, in regards to this communication? The Tower in reverse. The Justice card. That's Libra. The 7 of Pentacles. And the 2 of Wands. I do feel one more. And interesting, we have a baby here and a baby here. So are you learning something? 8 of Wands now in reverse. Being freed from that prison. Okay, so I think you're fearing something massive that I don't think is going to happen. Okay, with time to lighten up, I feel like you really fear like something's going to crumble, something's really going to significantly change, and the fact that the Tower is in reverse, I don't think that's the case. I think what's going to happen is you're going to free yourself from some sort of limitation, and I feel it's also going to bring some liberation to other people in this situation, and it's going to bring a sense of balance. And I feel like maybe you might feel out of place, or like you don't know how, because you're like maybe feeling like a child. But I feel like the ability for you to just be your authentic self is what frees you from this Eight of Swords. That will bring the balance, that will bring the justice needed in this situation. So I feel like you've been pretty persistent, I do feel. But I feel like what you have not been able to pull off yet is this kind of communication, or this final thing here. So if you keep focusing on what you've been focusing in on, I don't think you're going to get the results that you need. I really feel like now it's time to change it up and choose the more difficult path here, whatever it is that you haven't done up until now, because it might require you to step outside of your comfort zone. It might require you to lean into something that you're a novice at, and you might feel like in the past maybe you felt like you'd be foolish. Look, more birds flying overhead. Lots of birds. So I don't know, are you concerned with how you'd appear to other people? Maybe you feel you're in the public eye, or other people are going to judge you. But I feel like that is the Eight of Swords. That's your limitation. Okay, so if you keep focusing on what you've been focusing in on, I think you're just kind of going to waste time. Not wisely either. So there's a need to confront something here, and that might mean facing your shadows, facing whatever you might fear doing, because I think you're building something up to be bigger than what it is, and it's not the case at all. Your anxiety also is a lot bigger than needs be for this situation. It's like I said, like you're the more you procrastinate and delay, it seems like the stuckness gets more stuck. Okay, so your advice is to communicate, to step forward, and this will bring healing. This will bring transformation within your life that I feel is destined for you with the Wheel of Fortune. So I will go on to pile number 3. If you were drawn to any other pile, go check that out. If not, then I wish you guys the very best. Pile 2, see you soon. Hello, my beautiful pile 3. You picked the labradorite mask. Love it. Let's take a look at your reading, shall we? So we are looking at, or I ask Spirit to deliver a message. So this could certainly be confirmation you're needing to hear today. It could be guidance. I don't know what this is. It could just be a special message for you. Whatever it is, this is what Spirit wants you to hear today. I've not looked at these cards, so definitely use your intuition to see, feel, or hear whatever is going to confirm to you that indeed this is your message. All right, so we have faith. Beautiful. We have stay back with the snake and the 2 hands with the spirals, number 29, or the number 11. Okay, we have 26, or number 8, the sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd. We have feathers with 14, or the number 5. We have 25, or number 7, with nature. Okay, we have tree of life, 35, or the number 8. Beautiful. Nature, tree of life, feathers. Okay. We have this oracle card. This lady smoking, and it looks like this probably says hotel. Okay, and we have these marching soldiers. Okay. the flag. We have the bird. We have 46 with new door. Your prayers have been answered and a new door is being held open for you. Number 10 or 46. Wow. We have 15 here with the teacher. Beautiful owl. And then the snake here. It says, you would do well to read more and otherwise learn about those who have worked diligently to attain what you seek and succeed. Okay, let's pull some tarot. Spirit for pile number 3. For pile number 3, spirits, can we please get a clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good? What are they needing to hear right here, right now? What is this about? Thank you so, so much. Please protect me and pile 3 as I channel this message. And thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy right here, right now. I'm truly blessed. Thank you so, so much. We have the 10 of Wands, and I am being called to leave them as they come out. So 10 of Wands in reverse. The 2 of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Swords in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups in reverse. I am feeling one more. The 6 of Wands in reverse. Okay. What's going on? Give me a minute. I feel like you're trying to pull something off. Have been unsuccessfully, potentially, or been struggling in some way, but I'm feeling like maybe in the past little bit, like maybe you've given up in some way, or you're just no longer interested in something that you might have been very interested in. And maybe you're convincing yourself you're no longer interested because maybe something didn't pan out the way that you had wanted. But I think you're being asked to not resist what this is, because I do feel like it is meant for you. Because I don't feel you've attained whatever this is. And I think you've been sort of trying to gain some sort of energy here of acceptance, which has brought you peace and has found you a way to kind of move forward. But I feel like you're being asked to, I mean, you don't have to outwardly go and explore this thing again, but I feel like whatever this thing was, the potential to be successful and to accomplish this thing is there for your taking. It's there for your taking, and I think you might have just given up at some point because it was frustrating, or it was just taking too long, or you just couldn't get the results you wanted, and so you've put it aside, you put it down, you just didn't focus on whatever this was. But maybe you went to focus on something else, thinking something else might be for you, but I feel this thing is for you. And so you're being asked to trust this, but you're also being asked to not resist or push it away energetically, but just be open and receptive to it. So you don't have to hang on to false hope or beliefs, but you do not also have to do the opposite and resist or tell yourself that this is something you no longer want. Oh, there goes my email confirming that. Yeah, so you might be telling yourself you no longer want this. I am called to read the bird here, the Bob Ross Oracle, because this is a new deck, but also I'm not quite sure what the bird message is going to have for us. So let's see, what is this bird about? The bird. All right. No matter the scene he was painting, whether mountain or ocean, the winter landscape, Bob made sure that there was a place in there for his birds. Remember that your friends, the little birds, have to have limbs out here to sit on. That's what all these little tree limbs are for. They're just little seats for the birds. The bird is a reminder to leave space in our lives for the little ones that make the world so joyful and that bring a song to our hearts. And whenever you hear those birds sing, don't be afraid to join them. So leaving space, like I said, you're not having to go chase whatever it was that didn't work. You're not having to go commit yourself diligently to a point of whatever. I just feel like there's a need to leave space open for something that is meant to be in your life, that is slowly migrating and finding its way to you. This door is being held open for you by spirit for this potential as well. So I feel like there is a strong message of keeping space, but maybe you've been very proactive in, like I said, focusing on something else, convincing yourself that this isn't for you, pushing something away and resisting it, feeling like you're needing to heal from something, because I feel like it might have been, you know, not very pleasant to feel like you didn't accomplish something. Might have taken a confidence blow. You might have, yeah, just not enjoyed. It wasn't pleasant. You might have felt even betrayed in some way, or not prioritized, or just like it wasn't for you. So you might have just had to depend on something else and lean in on yourself. But I feel like whatever seeds you planted, they are coming to fruition. And I do feel like whatever you learned in the situation is needing to be applied here. Let's pull some more, because I do feel there is more to this message here. This could involve friends, family. Okay, so spirits, why are we seeing this message for pile number 3? What is this main message? What am I missing here for pile 3? All right, so we have the Hanged Man. We have the World in reverse. We have the Temperance. Let's move this over. We have the Temperance. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you just gave up on something, I feel. The Chariot in reverse because it wasn't moving forward. The Sun. It would bring you lots of happiness. The High Priestess. The Page of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. Okay. So, let's put that with the feathers. Pile 3. I feel this is something that would have brought you a lot of happiness. It didn't move. You gave up on something here. And I think you've done a lot of healing from the point of in time when I think you might have abandoned ship here. But I feel there is some more on the horizon here. And there is a way to successfully work with where the energy is at with this to bring final closure in some way. That is opening the chapter for the next part. And I feel like a lot of you guys might have intuitively understood this. Okay, but there is a need for you to integrate what you learned wisdom-wise and what you intuitively know, despite maybe any sort of fear you may have of getting stuck or whatever reason why you're sort of resisting or refusing. Because I feel like whatever experience you had wasn't pleasant, like I said. And it might have left you having to pick up the pieces. It might have left you having to rebuild. It might have left you just feeling like, yeah, you have to abandon. And so I feel like the minute you see things from a different perspective here, change how you're perceiving where you are now different than where you were when you experienced this, I feel like there is an opportunity for you to plant something new here, and to give closure to whatever this situation is. And I do feel like there is more insight here that will come of you being open, will come of you understanding on a deeper level maybe than what it was that you experienced. Because I feel you experienced something that was real, and it painted a picture in your mind of something, but I feel like there is still more here that will allow you to see things from a more clearer understanding, different, and it might be stuck right now, okay? It hasn't moved, it's stuck, it's kind of now sort of in the energy of needing to wrap up successfully this piece, because however it did wrap up was not pleasant and still left a lot of unknowns. So leave some space, and I think energetically, if we resist something or say we don't want it or push it away or have some negative connotations of experience to that, it's telling the universe we don't want to experience it. But I feel like there is expansion, there is growth, there's abundance, there's a way to naturally allow yourself to feel what you're feeling here. Like if you're still upset about something, you're allowed to be, but if you're not, then kind of drop whatever guard, resistance. We have the World in reverse again, because there is a need for closure. This is like almost there, you know, but it's not quite closed out. It hasn't quite finished. It's like failure to do the last little bit that we're needing to do in order to wrap something up. I want to read feathers now. I'm being called to read the feathers because I'm not quite sure. Now, we did see the sun. I'm seeing the sun here. That's masculine energy, meaning to be empowered, to be enlightened, to maybe take some sort of action, but wasn't feeling... The action I am feeling that you're needing to take is to make some space, to let go of resistance, for something needing to close out successfully in some way here. More sun breaking through the clouds, more sun breaking through the trees. Beautiful angel. Let's see what feathers is about. Feathers is 14. You're being showered with love from above. You have received this card as the universe and as spiritual realms want you to pay attention to feathers that are appearing from above. Have you ever been walking or driving in your car and a feather has floated before you and crossed your path? These spiritual reminders are to let you know that you are loved and protected by your angels and loved ones in spirit. Feathers have a way of appearing in our lives just at the right moment. We know rationally that a feather comes from a bird, yet many times when a feather appears, there are no birds in close proximity. This is because feathers are a gift from heaven and the universe to remind you that you are never alone. Your angels and your loved ones go to great lengths to get your attention in times of doubt, fear, despair, sadness. Finding a feather can be confirmation from your angels that you are on the right path. The psychic symbol of a feather can also be a sign that positive things are about to appear. When you find a feather, take note of its color and size. I find a lot of white feathers, which indicates to me that they are from my guardian angel and loved ones. When I find colored feathers, it is a sign that something very special is about to happen. When I find a black feather, it indicates to me there is a warning of a challenge ahead. Gray and or half black, half white feathers remind me to be alert. However, for those who follow the practice of shamanism, finding a black feather is a positive sign. When you find feathers, focus on what type of feeling this sign gives to you personally and give thanks to the universe, your angels, and loved ones above. So you could be finding feathers, but I feel like you might be seeing signs around you about this particular situation. If you're having dreams, if you're seeing numbers, signs, synchronicities, it is a sign from your spirit guides, from this situation particularly, whatever individuals are involved here in this situation, your loved ones, in regards to there needing to be more to close something out here. So I do feel like there's something on the horizon happening here in the positive, but I do feel like there's a need to let go of resistance, because I do feel you are guarded. And you've been doing healing, because I do feel like you experienced some sort of 5 of Swords in this situation here, where you've had to put yourself back together. So Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady. The Nine of Swords, anxiety. A lot of anxiety, sleepless nights. So you might be having, like I said, dreams rather than seeing the feathers. Maybe you're waking up seeing, you know, repetitive numbers. This is a sign to you from your spirit team in regards to allowing the situation to naturally sort of unfold. Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Page of Pentacles. So our family could be struggling if we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, some sort of structure, establishment, family situation, a long-term situation's flipped on its axis in some sort of way. And it caused a lot of struggle, right? We might have lost our security. We might have lost our independence. We might have lost something that we tried to build, some sort of stability. And I feel like you might have had to start over in some way. But I think what Spirit is wanting you to do is to be open. Because there is an opportunity coming towards you, although slow opportunity, there is an opportunity for something to plant. And I feel like whatever it was that you were trying to take off the ground here wasn't the time. And so it caused a lot of stress. It caused a lot of anxiety. But I feel like now is the time. You just have to be open to receive. Yes, that's a very clear message. So let's get final words here from Spirit. For anything that I am missing, any sort of guidance. Spirit, what is pile 3 needing to hear? Anything that is unclear to them, something I might have missed. Final words, what is the guidance? Thank you so much, Spirit, for this clear and concise message. Judgment in reverse. Are you seeing the full truth of something in order to allow yourself to let go? You might not want to admit to yourself something. Maybe about how you showed up in some way. We have the Ten of Cups. So now we have the Ten of Pentacles and now the Ten of Cups. So this could certainly involve a family situation, an ideal family situation, a coming together, reuniting, reconciliation, celebrating. King of Wands, that is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and now we have the Tower. Something that was a tower, it fell apart. I felt 5 of Swords. You had to pick up the pieces. Maybe there was a lot of struggle, a lot of conflict, and it rocked up some sort of situation. And so I feel like what Spirit is saying is you've learned a lot in that experience, you've healed from, but maybe you're not completely allowing yourself to accept something that is a truth. And it could be coming from a guarded place because you don't want to experience a tower. So you might be telling yourself that, I don't know, like, I never want to deal with this again. And, you know, you're guarded in some way, and rightfully so. But are we acting out of a place of pain, or are we acting out of a place of dealing with actual truths? You know, is there more to a situation of why the pain was there that wasn't to do with because of us? It was just a circumstantial thing, and we happen to be kind of the victim of circumstance in some way that we don't want to admit, maybe in order to be safe and guarded. But I do feel like there is the double message coming through of finding peace, coming together with family and friends, finding a truce, allowing there to be a coming together, because I do feel there's a long-term happiness here, emotional and in a practical way for a long term. But there is a need for you to be confident in what is happening around you and trust, you know, because I do feel like your confidence took a blow. And so you're maybe not as confident in the situation as you once were willing to be or needing to be. So there's a need to review this, okay, and make space. So it doesn't mean you have to actively make something happen, but at the same time, just trust here with faith that keeping your heart open, allowing whatever kind of sort of resolution comes in is for the greatest good of everyone involved here, and that whatever you experienced, as real as it was, could have been a situation that was destined to happen here in order for you to gain a better experience, understanding of something. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the truth of where this would head again. I feel like there was something very much needing to happen in order to give the strength and the roots of building the foundation for something here, as painful as it might be. But seeing 3 people here and 3 people here. So I don't know, like, are there 2 other people involved in this situation? This could resonate with pile number 2's reading as well, because I did feel there were multiple people. I feel there's multiple people here as well. It could be families, 2 families, friends, a third party type situation. But I do feel like you've already kind of picked up pieces, and maybe now you're just kind of trying not to. So how you'll know is, again, if you're seeing the signs, if you're knowing there still needs to be peaceful sort of closure here, because the only closure that's happened here is a 5 of Swords, and a difficult one, then there is more here. And just allow yourself to keep that space open. And it could just be to have proper peaceful closure here, you know, for someone who maybe we did consider friends or family. And that doesn't mean we have to experience the same thing again. Could just mean to find some sort of peace, to extend that olive branch if you feel like you are in a position to do so, like Bob Ross with the limbs, to paint the limb there for the bird to stand. We might have to extend the olive branch. All right, like, is it time that we put aside some sort of grudge? I don't know. Maybe you feel like you've been contemplating it, but maybe your past actions are just kind of hanging on to a memory you have of how painful it was. But, and not even but, I mean, do you feel maybe it is time that you have healed, that you could let go, that you did learn something, that you're like, you know what, people are human. I could allow myself to forgive in a way, to bring back, you know, whatever sort of abundance I had with this person or the situation, and look past it. Are you able to? And if you are able to, should you, can you, to, you know, create some sort of peace here? Because I do feel like there's something very beautiful and abundant and very strong about this sort of partnership, relationship, or circumstance that you're able to naturally allow happen when there is no resistance, when there is no hanging on to a thought or an anger or something here. Okay, so do not fear that a tower is going to happen again. I feel like that is maybe what has you held back, because the message here is very clear today that that might be the only reason why you're held back, and it doesn't need to be the case. Okay, so trust in yourself, have faith and confidence that you're not going to allow yourself to be put in a tower or a hurt space, because you've already learned whatever lessons you were needing to learn. So no one can put you back in that position of something you've already learned. You've already learned this. Okay, pile number 3, I hope this helped. I love you guys very, very much. I will see you soon. And if you're drawn to another pile, please visit me there, and I'll see you soon. Bye.